Many people believe that maths is a subject that you're either good at or you're not good at. And that is simply just not the case. Why is it that we only ever say that about maths? Why is it that we don't really tend to hear that said about other subjects? And why is it that people that are good at maths are just deemed to be a maths person and that it was always going to be something that they were good at? If that was the case, I would not be a maths person, and if you told my 13-14-year-old self that I'd be doing a maths degree, I just wouldn't believe you. You join a club that is full of people when you say you aren't good at maths. The club, I won't lie, has a lot of adult members because, not to offend the adults, but they are the majority of people that say, oh, I could never do maths, I was never good at it. The more you say you can't do maths, or that you'll never be able to do maths, the worse you're going to get. You have to get this idea out of your head. Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. I do hope you are all well. Now you're watching this video hopefully for a little bit of maths advice. I'm going to assume that you're not the best at maths, but you want to get better. I hope that you're here for some advice, you want a little bit of extra motivation, a little bit of extra push in the right direction, and I hope that you're here because you want to know how you can learn maths fast. If that's the case, then you're in the perfect place because for today's video, I'm going to be taking you through some advice, some information, some tips on how you can learn maths faster. Before we jump into today's video, I want to let you know about Pocket Tutor. Pocket Tutor is a new online tutoring service that helps you with any maths problems or anything that you don't understand. No matter whether you're in Key Stage 3 or that you're completing your GCSEs or if you're studying for A-levels, no matter what situation you're in, Pocket Tutor will be able to help you. As it may be quite hard to find a face-to-face tutor, or even if you found one, you might actually not be able to meet up with your face-to-face tutor. Pocket Tutor is the place you want to go to. And listen to this. Andrew, who is the founder of Pocket Tutor, is offering a one-time free tutoring session. It's a one-time offer and all you need to do is click the link in the description, fill out the form, fill out your details and send it to Andrew, and then he will be in touch to organise a video call with you. In the call you will go through anything you don't understand, any problems, and Andrew will be there to help you. So make sure you click the link in the description and sign up now for your free one-time tutoring session. Now let's jump into today's video. Now what you and I have believed about our own potential has in some way restricted what we've learned. No matter whether that is in maths or in life in general, if you believe you can't learn something, you won't learn it. If you believe you can learn something, then you will. You'll have a much better chance at actually learning something or getting better at something if you believe you can do it. As I've said in many other videos, you need to want to learn. It's so important that you view maths positively before you even start trying to learn techniques or trying to get faster at your revision. Once you do that, you are on the road to becoming a maths person. Now I'm sure you've heard, but I'm rubbish at maths. I can't do maths. I'll never be able to do maths. It's the worst mindset you can possibly have. Not just for maths, but anything that you put yourself through. You need to have a growth mindset. And a growth mindset is where you accept challenges, you sort of adapt to the challenges, you're willing to take the challenges on, you want to learn and you want to get better. Don't panic if you don't understand something in maths and don't give up, because that's where you just waste time. People with a growth mindset, their brains expand quicker. They take on knowledge much faster because they're willing to learn. So if you're believing in yourself and you have a growth mindset, you are going to start picking up maths much easier than if you just dismiss maths or you don't want to learn. And that way, when you're picking up the techniques, you're getting better. You might not realise you're getting better, but you are. And you're getting better much faster than if you just do a little bit of maths here and there. Now, what I don't think you're taught at school really, or at college, or sort of, I don't think people people talk about this enough. They just expect you to be able to revise. They just expect you to know how humans learn. And you need to understand how we learn in order to be the best learner that you can be. So what I want to do is I want to take you through the science of learning. Let's put ourselves in a maths classroom and you're listening to your teacher drone on, if you like. When you're listening to your teacher, no matter sort of how connected you are to the teacher, you're getting a sensory input. And that sensory input goes into your sensory memory. You need to do something with that sensory input so that it can stay in your brain permanently. If you don't do anything, it will just escape your brain, and that knowledge or that information that your teacher's talking to you, it won't stay in your brain and you won't remember it. Like I said, the sensory memory needs attention, and it wants the attention so that it can progress onto the next stage of learning. The next stage of learning is your short-term memory. Now, you're breathing right now. You're breathing, I hope. Now I've told you that you're breathing, you're aware of it. You weren't for the duration of this video, you didn't know you were breathing. But because we've brought our attention to our breathing, we are aware that we're doing it. To keep something in your short-term memory, you need to revise it. Now we don't every day think about our breathing because it's just something we naturally do as we go along with our day. When you're practicing the maths, you're strengthening connections in the brain. And as those connections get much stronger, the maths revision, the questions that you're doing, some formulas will enter your long-term memory. Now you need to understand maths fully, and this is what's quite important. To understand a certain topic in maths, as I've said in many of my videos before if you've watched them, you need to understand everything underneath that topic. Now hopefully when you're revising, let's say topic 12, you know topic 1 to 11. Now when you're revising topic 12, you need to revise it effectively. Or when you're learning it for the first time, you need to be fully connected with what you're learning. That is because topic 1 to 11 hopefully is already in your long-term memory. And what you want to do with topic 12 is use your short-term and long-term memory together and make connections in the brain. When you're making connections in the brain, what you're doing is strengthening the knowledge. And that means the topic that you're learning will enter your brain much faster, and hopefully you won't have to revisit that topic later down the line. And that's really going to help you learn maths much faster. Now I hate to break it to you, there isn't really a quick fix to learning maths faster. Overnight you're not going to become the best mathematician in the world because it's just not possible. But with motivation, with hard work, with dedication, being committed, you can really increase your speed of learning maths. To learn maths faster, you need to have a really good maths knowledge. And to get that maths knowledge, if you need to go over something you already have done just to get that knowledge as best as it can be, then please do that. You're probably not going to like what I'm going to say next, and if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll probably know what I'm going to say. But I really need you to make mistakes. A study was done that showed from an MRI scan that when you make mistakes, your brain gets bigger. You make connections in your brain when you make mistakes. The study also showed that when you don't make mistakes, connections aren't formed. When you get questions right, there are less connections in the brain formed. So what that means is that mistakes are really good things, and you need to be making them to improve. If you don't make mistakes, you're just going to stay on a level and you're never going to get to that next level. And if you don't make mistakes, you're not going to learn maths faster. So please, make mistakes. It's very difficult when you make mistakes in maths, and it's really annoying. It's really easy to throw your pen down and say, I can't do this, I'm no good at maths. But I can tell you right now, when you start getting good at maths, you can learn maths much faster, and you will feel really good. Very sad me saying that, but it's true. I was watching a TED Talk the other day called How You Can Get Good at Maths maths and other surprising facts about learning. In the talk, the speaker showed a maths puzzle, and it was basically adding blocks each time you went up from case 1 to case 2 to case 3. And what the speaker asked the colleagues and students is she asked them to work out how many squares there would be in case 100 or case n. She spoke of the fact that when she asked the different people, they all came up with a different way of thinking. Some came up with a verbal solution and they pictured it like raindrops falling on the blocks each time. Some rearranged the blocks. It was just different visual ways of thinking about the problem. And I believe that that's the importance of learning maths faster. You need to be aware that yes, in maths there are quite a few things that are either right or wrong, but there is ways of viewing maths differently. And until you understand that, you won't learn maths faster. Don't give up if you don't view things the way your classmates do or that your teacher tells you to do. You can come up with your own ways as long as they're right. So don't give up, continue with the maths, and you will learn maths faster. Now for the rest of this video, I'm going to be giving you some just general tips and advice that you can take away from this video and apply to your revision, to your lessons, apply to your mindset so that you can get better at maths and you can become much faster at learning maths. Tip number 1 is to practice. This is so important. Tip number 2 is to talk out loud your solutions. When you're talking out loud, you're activating your sensory memory. You can hear yourself talking out loud. So you're not also writing down things, but you're also talking out loud, which will really help you taking that maths much faster. Tip number 3 is to ask questions. The earlier you ask those questions, the faster you're going to iron out those mistakes and the faster you're going to get better at maths. Tip number 4 is to just do some general maths puzzles. You don't have to take maths so seriously. Be aware of puzzles that you can do. Think about Sudoku. Think about Rubik's Cubes. Do some mind puzzles that stimulate your brain and that you learn even though you don't really realise you are. Tip number 5 I touched on earlier in the video, but learn the basic maths. Don't try and learn something too complicated, because if you haven't learned the basics, you're just wasting time. Talking about time, tip number 6 is to know how much time you have to revise, or the amount of time you have to learn. Because when you do that, you can set a goal for yourself and hopefully you can achieve that goal. Tip number 8 is to test your knowledge as you go. This will prevent you from having to test your knowledge in 3 months' time. You won't have to revisit topics if you've really nailed them as you're learning them. And as we mentioned earlier, get really good at those topics so that they go into your long-term memory and they're not just in your short-term memory and you forget them. Tip number 7 is to be aware of maths around you. Think about flowers. For example, a sunflower is a really good example of maths. The seeds on those sunflowers are usually a Fibonacci number. Bet you didn't know that. Tip number 9 is to get equipped with stationery. Get the maths textbooks that you need so you're not wasting time trying to find them. And also, if you've got a physical copy of the book, you might be more engaged than just staring at a screen. And when you're more engaged, more parts of your brain are learning, and then hopefully you learn maths much faster. And tip number 10, be patient, be committed, get motivated, and enjoy maths. It sounds really sad, but not just enjoy maths, enjoy any subject that you do. Enjoy learning anything, because it's such a good skill that we've got and it's free. You can learn anything. So really put your mind to it, and I really hope that this video has helped you on how you can learn maths much faster. That's it for today's video. I really do hope that it was helpful and that you enjoyed. If it was helpful, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, because I've helped you out, hopefully, so now it's your time to help me out. Make sure you also go and check out Pocket Tutor. I've left all the information in the description. Fill out the form for the offer of a free online tutoring session. Thanks again for watching, everybody. If you've got any questions, leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. I hope to see you very soon with a brand new video. Bye! can learn maths much faster.